Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Swisspreneur. In the last episode, we already got to know Alan Frei and his personal story. Today we're going to have a chat with him about how to do successful B2C marketing. He will walk us through his own marketing framework and will teach you how you can launch successful PR and create a successful marketing system for your company. Let's jump right in and let's have a chat with Alan. Before we get started with the episode, I would like to introduce you to SBB Startup. If you think that your company is a good fit for the Swiss Railways, get in touch with them or learn more about their startup programs at sbbstartup.com. Alan, welcome back to Swisspreneur. It's great to have you again for the second episode, where we will tackle all the marketing tactics and hacks that you will share with us later today.
Yeah.
I would like to start with the first question. What mistakes do you see Swiss startups in the B2C sector making over and over again regarding marketing and branding?
I don't see too many mistakes because I'm not here to judge others. But what I can tell is what we did wrong in the beginning. And I think what we did wrong in the very beginning was, or what was the reason why we became successful with Amorana, is that in the very, very beginning, people don't buy your product. They don't buy your product. They buy it because it's you. You know, they feel sad for you that you need to work in a sex toy company, and so they buy something. Your first customers aren't buying your products. They're buying you. They're buying your vision. And this is something that some entrepreneurs, or sometimes I see that they don't realize that, they think the product, this will come later. In the today nobody cares if I'm part of Amorana, but in the beginning it was only Lucas and me convincing people or talking with them about Amorana. So the first thing is you need to realize, or you need to have a great story. This is the first thing, and often it's called the elevator pitch, and the elevator pitch. So often startups don't get it right. It's the most important thing in the beginning because you're going to tell your story 1,000 times, and it should be the perfect setting would be if you and your co-founder or founders have a similar, you talk about the same thing. And the elevator pitch needs to be, the perfect elevator pitch is, it says very quickly what it is, and don't use it's the Uber of, it's the Airbnb of, leave that away, work on that, plus something that's interesting, so people will talk about it, and if you can add something funny, it's like perfect, right? So what it is, without using too many Anglo-Saxon phrases, something interesting and something funny. And
what was your elevator pitch?
So our elevator pitch when we started was, we are selling sex toys, but just a bit cooler than everybody else. And in our case, it's simple because it's sex toys, right? But what we realized quickly then is that people loved the story about Lucas being an investment banker, and we were working finance. And then we realized, okay, what are the stories, what are the products people buy most, like talking about blowjob machines, and everybody's listening. So this is easy for us. But if you're working on that, so this is the number one thing. Work on a great story. Have different stories. Have 5 to 10 stories. I can bring up. Work on these. It's important because people are buying your vision and they're not buying your products in the beginning. That's the essence. So have a great story and go out and show your face. Even if you're maybe introvert, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs they're maybe more introvert, but even then, you don't need to talk about yourself, but about why you wanted to create a product. There's sometimes they're egocentric entrepreneurs like I am. Maybe it's easier for them to talk about themselves. But if you're not, you talk about why you wanted to create that, why people needed that. So this is the step one. and often entrepreneurs do wrong or we did wrong.
For the step one, even if you have your vision or your story like very well aligned and set up, you still need to reach your first customers and grow to reach more customers in order to grow the company. Yeah. How did you tackle this?
Yeah. So there are, in my opinion, there are like two ways to tackle that. The first one is your name card. You know, what we have is on every name card there's a coupon. Every name card you give, there's a coupon you can buy. You can buy something, or you should need to do something on your name card. People are looking at it and they're like, oh, I need to try that.
How much has that actually helped you? Did you have any like specific numbers?
The name card I'm using since day one with the code LN20 was used something like 400 times already.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know it works. So name card with a coupon or to do something, that's something that really helps. And the second thing is PR. A lot of startups do PR wrong because, you know, they go online and then they have a press release and they send it out. Mm-hmm. And nobody cares. Like really nobody cares.
They get hundreds of them every day.
Yeah. Nobody cares that you started a new website. So you need to think about very clearly and you need to tackle that very specifically how to get press release. And so how would I do it or how did I do it? The thing is, you need to decide where do you want to be featured in. Do you want to be in a entrepreneurial magazine like Bilanz, mm-hmm. or do you want to be in a mass market? Mm-hmm. If you want to be in mass market in Switzerland, it's 20 minutes. So how do you get into 20 minutes? It's super simple. You need to think about your industry and what are interesting facts for the journalist in your industry. You don't talk about your company. Nobody cares about your company, but you have interesting insights about your industry, statistics, new trends, things like that. Think about that. Then you do that. So you figure out what's interesting in your industry, what might be interesting for the journalist, step one. Step two is you go to 20 minutes, you type in the search bar, you type in the word you're in. In your case, it was gyms or fitness. In my case, it was sex toys. Mm-hmm. And then you have a list of articles in 20 minutes about sex toys. And then you go in there and you scroll to the bottom and you see two or three letters, and that's often the name of the journalist. You copy the two letters, you go to the impressum and you search for these two letters and you see who did write about sex toys. Mm-hmm. And you go through all the articles and then suddenly you see, okay, there's this person who writes often about sex toys. So, or about startups or whatever. And then you write that person these interesting facts and you tell him it's only for you. It's for no one else. I'm not sending it out to hundreds of other people, so it's just for you. Mm-hmm. Would you be interested to do something, to write something about it? Could you please inform me, and this is an important part, until tomorrow, 12 o'clock. If not, I can send it to someone else. The problem is we did that without the date once, and we sent it out to 2-3 people, and all of them wanted it. And then suddenly, 20 minutes and blink, and they get angry with you, and you don't want that.
Yes.
So then you just send it out, you tell them, you ask them, are you interested in it? I can even give you more details about the numbers. Mm-hmm. If you're interested in it, let me know until tomorrow, and I can give you also an interview if you want to. And that's it. And that's how you get your first PR story. And if you get your first PR story, you get your first users, you got your first traction, people see that. If you look how many PR articles we have in 20 minutes or Blick, it's ridiculous because we do that very systematic.
Do you have an example of what kind of data you shared with the newspapers?
So, again, ours is easy or easier. What we did is which canton bought the most sex toys.
Okay.
What's the penis size of the canton? These are the things we do, and that's quite easier in our case. Our spot was forbidden by Schweizer Fernsehen, stuff like that. So So it's easier, but in every industry, you know, you have fitness, you know, you can take the data and find data about which canton has the highest density of fitness centers, and then you take how obese are these people? Is there a correlation? And suddenly you have interesting facts. And that's what people need to think about, and then they will write about you, and then you are on top of their mind. That's the whole point on getting top of mind with journalists. And in our case, if people are asked about sex toys, they think about Amorana because we're top of mind, and then they ask us, and so we have a high density of PR stories.
In the early days, have you also invested in other marketing activities like social ads or something like that? What have you done?
I strongly believe in Oli Zamvar telling that every marketing works, just depends on the price. So, you know, billboard works if I get them for $1 or $2 or $100, you know, it's just the price. So everything works. So we with that in our mind, we decided, so we do and try everything, and we tried very systematic. You know, without sharing too much information, because maybe also one of our competitors is listening. I try to, you know, the things startups need to focus on. So step one is do the things you get for free. PR, name cards with coupon codes. This is easy. But
quick wins.
You get your first customers, and people don't do it, right? They don't do it.
That's right.
But it's easy. This is step one. Step two is there are three concepts in online marketing. There's the concept of traffic, conversion rate, customer lifetime value. These are the things someone who does online marketing needs to understand. And the first one, as a startup, is the easiest one, is to tackle the conversion rate. Tackle the conversion rate, you can do that with two simple ways. So this means if you're getting traffic on the site, you're paying 100 francs for the traffic, you have a conversion rate of 1%, 100 people are coming to the site, one person is buying or signing up, you have a 1% conversion rate. So you need to improve your conversion rate. This is your job, your first job as a online marketing guy.
What would be a good conversion rate to have?
It depends on your business. So, you know, in e-commerce, many stores have 1 or 2% conversion rate. We have drastically more, really high conversion rate. And this means, so your marketing dollars are way more efficient. Right. So if you have 100 people, you pay 100 francs to come to your site, and you have a 1% conversion rate, and you make $50 in revenue. This means you spend $100 in marketing or 100 francs in marketing. One person is buying something for 50 francs, you're making a loss of 50 francs. Yes. But if you have a 5% conversion rate, so the same people are coming to your site, you're spending 100 francs, you have 5 people buying something, you have 250 francs. So minus 100, suddenly you have a profit of 150 with the same people. So conversion rate is king. And how do you improve conversion rate? There's 2 tactics for that. Tactic number 1 is reducing clicks. It's just reduce clicks. Go through and reduce clicks. This is easy. Reduce clicks. And the second one is the grandmother test. In Swiss German, I'm calling grandmother test. You take your grandmother, you give her a mobile phone, and you tell her, please order something. And then you just let her do. And you don't explain or anything, and just see where does she stop. And if she stops somewhere, you know you need to improve that. So, or ask your aunt or something. And this is, you know, this is very practical. You know, this is not some high-end books. This is, you take your aunt, you ask her buy, you sit there, you look what she's doing. So this is something you can do. If you want to scale that up, you can use tools like Testing Time, where you get different people, you know, test things. And you don't need A/B tests or anything yet. Reduce clicks, look at people, how they buy on your site. These are the 2 things. And if you do that, you do 90% more than everyone else. So this is step 1, increase your conversion rate. Step 2 is bringing traffic to the site. Bringing traffic to the site is with name cards, it's with PR, but it's also with online marketing or TV and everything. The thing is, you need to be greedy in the beginning, and that in the sense of you cannot pay. So I was like telling everyone, we are a startup, we don't have any money. Can you do it? Can we test it? Can we test it? So still today, I'm asking people if I can test. And this means I ask them, can I test it for 500 francs? Can we do a revenue share or something like that? I just can't pay you a fixed amount with the risk of not working. So test, have small amounts and test if it works, and then just be very systematic about it. Again, don't do things parallel. In the beginning, do them sequentially and try Instagram, give an influencer, give them 200 francs and test something with them. Try for 200 francs a month Google AdWords, try SEO. SEO is for free. Do social ads, Facebook ads. Ask if you can do a campaign on billboards for 1,000 francs, just very specific in one region. Sure. Or TV. TV you can do super cheap nowadays. So try these things and be very systematic about it. And then you push the traffic on your site, you have a higher conversion rate, and then suddenly the things work. And then you have the customer, and then you try to improve the customer that he's going to buy more and more and more. These are the things you're trying to do. So these 3 steps are very practical steps how to increase or improve your online marketing.
Are there any recommendations from your side how to increase the lifetime value? Because from there onwards, you probably have an email address of the person, so you can control the channel. Yeah. What effective hacks or activities have you done there that you might be able to share?
To be very honest, we are not yet that good. We need to improve that. I think, or what we've realized is that people don't always want to buy, but you want to keep them engaged. And how do we do that? People love content. They love to read about things. So when we put in content in our newsletters, people love to read that. It has ridiculous click rates, and so we decided, you know what, we need to mix that more. And the problem is, if you are a startup, you are always in the mood of getting new customers, because that's the mindset. And then the transition is now we have so many customers in our shop now, and we need to focus more on them. Not only new customers, it's also still important, but on the existing customers. And we are working on that. So if there's someone out there who is specialized in CRM and looking for a job, I'm very happy to get your CV.
Awesome. So that's also sort of content marketing that you're setting up there. What pieces of content have worked best for you? Do you try different things? I also saw you have a podcast, for example, an Amorana podcast. You have blog articles, videos. Yeah. What's working best for you in that regard?
So the thing that works the best are videos. Okay. So on our YouTube channel, we have videos with over 130,000 views. So real views.
So no advertising behind that?
No, we are not allowed to advertise on YouTube. So we are not, it's all organic. And so videos, people love to see videos. But the problem is with videos, they're quite hard to do. So the second thing is creating great blog posts, because people, it's good for SEO and it's also good for content. So videos and blog, these are the 2 things that work the best. I strongly believe in podcasts. I love podcasts. I think podcasts is like YouTube is the superior TV. I think podcasts will be the superior radio in the future. It will take still a couple of years, but it's just obvious. It needs to be. So I believe in podcasts.
You also mentioned this 3-step process. traffic, conversion rate, and then increasing the lifetime value, where should you start to making improvements?
Start with conversion rate. Okay. Work on your conversion rate. It's the cheapest marketing. It's the easiest marketing. It's check where people are jumping off your page. Why? What didn't they realize to do? What was the problem? Reduce clicks. Ask your aunt to buy something. These are the things. And if you've done with that, review that again and again, and then focus on bringing massive traffic, and often that works with PR.
And then last, the lifetime value. Yeah. How do you track all these different activities that you do? Do you just write them down in a spreadsheet, or do you have specific tools that you use in your daily life as a B2C marketeer?
Number one tool is Google Analytics. So we use Google Analytics a lot, and it's super powerful. Today we still have a marketing plan where we have the marketing plan in a Google spreadsheet. Additionally, we use Asana.
Okay.
So these are the tools we are working with, but we are trying to improve having a business intelligence tool. We are trying now Minubo. Let's see if that works out. So these are the tools we are working with, but in the end, it's Google Analytics. Where do people come from? What they do and what do they do on the site?
Do you have did you set that up in a very specific way, or did you use any templates to get there, or was that sort of an organic growth?
It was an organic growth because there aren't very good marketing tools out there which combine all of them. It's easy because all of these marketing players don't want to share their data, so they try to block that. We had to do our own thing. This works okay. So having the core Google Analytics with the numbers, and then we put it into a spreadsheet, with Google add-ons, and then we have the number, and that's quite okay.
I think you've provided us with a fantastic framework how to think about B2C marketing. The holy grail for a lot of startups to think about, or the question that they don't know the answer to, is how much money should I actually spend on the different parts? Maybe you could think about that at the different life cycles of a startup. So how much money should an early stage company, a mid stage, and a later stage company spend on these different marketing activities from your perspective?
So it depends strongly on in which branch you're working, right? And if you're e-commerce, or you have a subscription tool, or you have a marketplace, this depends. But to give you a concrete number, I think it starts with try in the beginning to spend no money. I think having money, and this is always easier when you have money, but when you don't have money, it's hard. But if you don't have money, you need to think. And this is something that's very important. Think about great ideas. How do you get PR? How do you get that stuff? Step one. Step two is only get revenue-based marketing. So things that you can track very, very precise, and you can calculate a return, or even you do a revenue share.
Can you give us an example of how you track that? Do you use like a coupon code?
Exactly.
Okay.
You use a coupon code, or you use a UTM link. UTM, they're called in German. It's easy. It's just a specific link you can add to your domain, and then you see on Google Analytics where do they come from. Okay. So the traffic is from this source. So things that you have revenue splits, very specific, where you can track. Then proceed to the next step is ROE-based marketing, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, where you decide what is the percentage we can spend on a new customer, set a goal, and then work towards that goal, right? And then if it's below, you can even spend more and get more customers. And it's if above, you need to improve it and optimize it. So free stuff, PR, name cards, then things that you can do revenue splits with, like working with an influencer, I'll give you 20% of the revenue that you will provide. Then go to ROE-based marketing, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, and then jump to the branding stuff. The branding stuff, today you can track these branding things quite well. So TV, I can track TV. These things you can track nowadays. And all the branding stuff helps you to improve your conversion rate again. The reason behind it is very easy. If you want to buy sex toys somewhere, you go on the site and you think, do I trust these people? Do I trust them with my money that they will send it? And if you are known and if you're in TV, people think, okay, I know this brand, I've seen it on TV, so I'm going to invest, or I'm going to buy something there because I trust. So if you have and the last part, the branding part, is the part where you're just improving your conversion rate, but you don't measure it that precisely anymore, like billboards and so on and so forth. So this is something I will go through to give you concrete numbers. Start with in the beginning, you start with 1,000 francs a month. Then you move to something like when it's split, it's to 3,000 francs a month. Then if it's ROE based, Facebook, Google, you go to 10,000 a month, and then it's like open end, and then you just spend a lot of money then.
And that would also be according to the sort of life cycle of a company, the methods that you just described, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely the life cycle of a company. The first couple until Facebook and Google, it's quite dense. That can happen in 2-3 months.
Okay.
And then it might take half a year, but it's how we did it.
And now you're also very prominent at like these branding activities, I would say, like posters at the train station, for example. How does it help you to grow? Like, what is your goal there behind these campaigns? And you said you are very well able to track them. How does that work in real life? How do you track these campaigns?
Especially billboards, we don't know how to track them yet. We didn't figure that out. The thing is, we try to talk to people and ask them what they think about. So, for example, when we were doing billboards, we did this Christmas campaign with a gag ball, and it's called Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, and it was a 9 gag. So, people come to me and they tell me, I've seen your billboard. So I'm trying to, get a feeling if people are talking about the billboards. And the thing is, people are getting spammed online so much that, for example, Digitech Galaxus, they have a very strong billboard campaign.
Yes.
And people see that. And so I believe in these things. I believe in TV and billboards. Will it be forever? Probably not. But probably the billboard will be digitalized. But when I walk through the train station, there's a great billboard. I will look at it. I will laugh, or I will be angry or something. If I have a banner online, my brain doesn't even look at it anymore. So you need to get the attention of people. So in that case, we don't track that, but it's just increasing the budgets there more and more.
Okay.
Because we see that people come up to me and tell me, I've seen your billboard.
What do you think will be a very underrated channel to use in the future that not a lot of people think about it yet?
In Switzerland, very specific in Switzerland, it's podcasts, it's email, it's YouTube.
Okay.
These are the things that are underrated. Maybe still Instagram, but Instagram is getting there.
Yes.
But podcasts, email, having a great email newsletter, this is so valuable. Because if people don't spam you and they read your email, this is a strong thing. And YouTube, everyone is looking. When I cook something, I go to YouTube. When I look up sex toys, I go to YouTube. When I want to listen to something, I go to YouTube. When I want to watch something, I go to. YouTube.
Yeah.
It's YouTube. And I think in Switzerland it's completely underestimated still.
How would you suggest like new companies, young companies tackle these 3 channels in the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years probably?
I think I'm the wrong person to ask. I think they need to ask you guys, because looking at your setting here, this is the right setting. You know, it's very professional, but it's very lean. And so if somebody's interested in that, they should write you guys. You drop the email address, because this is the thing how to do it. I'm learning here from you guys and not the other way around. So this is the setting. Professional, but very simple and very focused. So this is the way to go.
Thank you very much for that high compliment. I think it's the other way around. 90% we're learning from you, and there's maybe 5 to 10% you can learn from us.
Thank you.
But that's actually also a very nice sentence to end the conversation.
Thank
you so much, Alan, for the very, very great inspiration and also very practical advice that you've given us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All the best for the future, your personal future in Amorana, which will be the same for the next couple of years.
Perfect. Thank you.